Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to the Autodromo Nazionale Monza for round 3 of the 2K GT World Cup. We started off the season at Indianapolis before heading to Okayama, and tonight we're on the fast circuit that is Monza. Well, good evening everybody. I'm Adam Bath, and alongside me is iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. Alex, good evening. Monza, pretty fast racetrack. A lot of excitement ahead of this race tonight.
I love this circuit, although I don't seem to have the best of results here, it would seem. Yeah, it's going to make for a very interesting race as we have a look at the legendary oval on screen right now. Won't be using that tonight, of course, but still, we expect a very, very exciting race. And yeah, I think a good mixture of cars out there tonight. We will certainly see obviously the McLaren featuring very strong straight line speed, but if you tuned into the Blancpain World Championship race earlier on, you know that there's definitely 3 cars that got a chance of winning out here. Well, all the cars really, but yeah, certainly those 3 stood out today in that race.
We'll run you through the championship standings quickly. Heading into round 3, Maximilian Benecke is at the top after taking a win last time out at Okayama. Second place, Patrick Pitchler, who took the win in the opening round at Indianapolis, played the strategy beautifully there. Andreas Almensberger is in 3rd, with Nathan Schartner in 4th, and then Guillaume Heredia in 5th, and we picked up a 0 last time out at Okayama. Sebastian Dunkel in 6th, Justin Brunner in 7th, 8th it's Alexander Manet, and then in rounding out the top 10 it's Florian Voith and Patrick Grodsky, who also did not race at this circuit. Alex, we saw in the Blancpain series today the first round of that championship, but which car was looking the quickest, and could that be translated over to this race tonight?
Certainly the cars that stood out were the McLarens. They definitely have the straight line speed advantage over all the other cars, and in qualifying very, very strong indeed. Of course, fuel mileage plays quite a role to this race, and I don't know quite how that's going to be affected here, of course, because the tank's not quite the same, is it? So yeah, it could still come into effect, but I think probably less so. So I would honestly think that the McLaren is going to be very, very strong in both qualifying and race, and very difficult to beat here.
In case you don't know the format for this 2K GT World Cup, we don't run a 3-hour race like they do in the Blancpain series. Tonight we are racing for 33 laps or 90 minutes, whichever comes first. And at the moment, you're looking at the drivers on their lone qualifying session. They get the track all to themselves to set 2 fast laps, and the quickest out of the 2 will determine their position on the starting grid. Looking at the provisional lineup at the moment, it's Guillaume Heredia at the front of the grid, lap time 1:47.763. Andreas Almensberger in 2nd in that Pure Racing Team McLaren. Justin Brunner 3rd. Mikko Melkala in 4th. Alexander Manet in 5th. Ricardo Guisado in 6th position in that McLaren. Christian Manzano in 7th. Florian Voith in 8th. Dado Opakak in 9th. Rounding out the top 10, it's Sylvain Pomerad. Just a quick note that Maximilian Benecke, the championship leader, has not set a lap time yet in qualifying, and he doesn't look like he's going to be able to, because the session will be shortly ending. That's quite a big name there that will be starting towards the back of the grid unless he sets a time. Also, Patrick Wolf hasn't set a time as well. He's currently 20th in the points. Craig Parks and Marco Panga as well. Those lot haven't set a time. But Alex, Maximilian Benecke, championship leader, won at Okayama last time out. It looks like he'll be starting outside the top 30 for this race.
We won't be starting at all, because he's in the chat telling us that he won't be able to race, unfortunately. So yeah, I guess he joined the session, but yeah, won't be racing. So that's a bit of a shame. Probably not going to hold on to his championship lead, but you never know what might happen. We've cursed people before, so yeah, we won't say anything. But yeah, just a bit of a shame. I would like to have seen him on the grid, frankly.
From my understanding of the rules, I do think the drivers do get a drop score during the season, so I'm sure that Benecke will be able to use this to his advantage, and we'll see him at the next race meeting, which I believe, well, I haven't even got the calendar in front of me, so I won't be able to guess for you, but yeah, we'll see him at the next race meeting. Qualifying's nearly over then. We've just got a few minutes left, and I think most of the drivers have completed their lap time. The next race of the season, incidentally, is at Brands Hatch in England, so a pretty different proposition to this track in Monza.
Having a look at Sebastian Dunkel, final driver, I think, to set a time. Craig Parks is still out there as well. Dunkel, of course, last week was in the Mercedes. He switched up to the McLaren for this week, and I believe that's the final change that he can do. So he's locked in on the car, I believe now. So, or was it after? I'm trying to remember now. We did speak about this. It might have been a couple of more races that they were allowed to have. So, yeah, gonna have to make that decision pretty quickly anyway, regards to car.
I think it's probably now time to run you through the grid then for the third race of the season. And Guillaume Heredia is on pole position, as he said, 1:47.763, only a few thousandths behind, 6 thousandths in fact. It is Andreas Almensberger, and that is how close the lap times here on this Monza circuit. They're running exceptionally quick lap times as well. Justin Brunner heads up row 2, with Sebastian Dunkel in 4th, Mikko Malkala in 5th, then it's Alexander Mane in 6th, then Ricardo Guisardo in 7th, Christian Manzano 8th, Florian Voith in 9th, and Dado Albuquerque rounding out the top 10. Sylvain Pomerad in 11th, Jonathan Brault in 12th. Patrick Pitchler, the race winner at Indianapolis, lines up in 13th position. Adam Sibilak in 14th, Andreas Drummenberger in 15th, Panchik in 16th, Cedric Bolin in 17th, Jose Buella in 18th, Patrick Richter in 19th, Marcel Tai rounding out your top 20. And moving on down the grid, 21st Sebastian Gauda, 22nd Mark McDonald, 23rd Craig Parks, 24th Marcus Papenbrock in 24th, 25th it is Caroni, 26th it's Raffle, 27th Gregory Rabb, 28th Andreas Lakem, 29th Andreas Shalmsey, 30th Michael Yoda, 31st Jaco Boschoff, and then 32nd, the last car to set a time, it is Darius Shmeki. And then, as we said there, Maximilian Beneke not racing tonight. We'll see if Patrick Wolf and Marco Panga line up there as well. So 35 cars, Alex. And we saw from the lap times they're incredibly tight. And I think we've seen so far this season, that means it's going to probably translate to a pretty close race as well.
I think the race is going to be great. A lot of drafting going on out there, so very difficult to break away in the early going. Big packs, I'm sure we'll see. Yeah, of course, rolling start, unlike what we saw last week. So, but of course, we also saw a standing start earlier on today as well. So let's hope, and indeed, we line up halfway through the track. So no issues, unlike at Okayama.
We saw at Indianapolis, of course, packs being formed, and that time it was the PRT racing team that were out on their own, and they pretty much commanded the race. But we'll see what happens here in round 3. It's not a pure racing team domination this time, because of course Heredia is at the front trying to stick it to Andreas Almensberger. Justin Brunner in 3rd as well. So McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4 it looks like. So the front 2 rows completely locked out by McLaren, and then Sebastian Dunkel, he will be running in the looks like the Audi. So the first of the non-McLarens is in 5th position. 6th is another Audi, 7th another of the McLarens, 8th Audi, 9th Audi, and then rounding up the top 10 it is one of the Mercedes, Alex, and we don't often see too many of the Mercedes in this 2K GT World Cup so far this season, so good to see one of those up inside the top 10.
Yeah, I think they're going to feature relatively strongly as well. I mean, compared to the McLaren, they're going to be struggling a little bit, but they certainly had the pace. We were driving the Mercedes today, and it's not all that far off round here, so definitely got a chance. Tyres hold on nicely, so they'll feature strongly for the rest of the season, no doubt.
So here we go then, the safety car just leads them round out of the Parabolica, the long 180-degree corner that ends the lap here at Monza, and any second now it peels into the pit lane, and the field is now in the hands of Heredia. And in fact, Almensberger is already going, and round 3 of the 2K GT World Cup is underway. Green flag in the air, and already they're starting to fan out as we head towards the Rettifilio, the chicane for the first time. 3 wide, look at this, the One of the McLarens trying to get past the PRT car, getting down into the first chicane. Who's going to be out there in front? Three wide into the chicane. How do they make it through? But it is Sebastian Dunkel that's come into second.
Oh, further back, there's a fair bit of contact as everybody's checking up, but I think someone got turned there and a few people running a little bit wide into the gravel traps on the exit. But for the most part, we're through, and as we jump back on board with the leader, you know, he's just flown away at the start, caught everybody napping a little bit, and he's already got a 1.3 second lead.
So Heredia already away, but in second place it is now Justin Brunner. So Brunner, who started in third position, has already been able to get past the Pure Racing Team car of Andreas Almensberger. Then it's Dunkel. So Dunkel's managed to get past Almensberger as well. Side by side, the two Audis going at it. That is Alexander Mane and Mikko Malkola. And Malkola, I think, has just got in front as we head into the second Lesmo, and that's putting Mane under increasing pressure from Cristian Manzano in the other Audi as we head down the straight towards the Ascari chicane for the first time. Let's see if there's a move going, and then closing in behind them is what is the first of the Mercedes, and that's Dado Opakak. Makes a bit of a mistake and is now coming under pressure from Heredia, the race leader's teammate, which is Ricardo Guisado. So as Alex was saying, frantic start here already, and we can expect the same as the race goes on. 33 laps, of course, in this race tonight. Heredia, though, already away, down towards the Parabolica, pulling out a nice, healthy advantage, and will definitely help him in breaking away from that draft, which is what this Autodromo Nazionale di Monza is all about, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this, you know, this is exactly what we're going to see for the rest of the race. Be interesting to see if Brunner can get back onto Heredia before coming under pressure from Dunkel behind. So, probably just inside the sort of the slipstream effect, I think, for Justin. So, 1.5 seconds. He lost a little bit of time through that first corner as well. So. Yeah, he's gonna need to get on it. This is exactly what Heredia wanted, of course, at the start. And well, everybody else is pretty much line astern, line of aisle after that, with battles going on all over the place at the moment.
There was a change of position down into the Resafilio at the start of lap 2, and that was Ricardo Guisado getting past Dado Opakak, McLaren getting ahead of the Mercedes, and now the Mercedes is under pressure from Florian Voith, heading down to the first Lesmo on lap 2. And Mercedes just able to get it turned in there through the first Lesmo. So yeah, everyone line astern, as Alex was saying. The gap at the line between Heredia and Brunner was 1.4 seconds. We'll see if that goes down at all on this lap, the first flying lap, of course, after the green flag. Sebastian Dunkel there in third position in that bright orange McLaren. And it's Andreas Almensberger who started on the front row. Malkola, Mane, Manzano. Then it's Guisado, Opakak. Then it's Voith, Pomerad, then it's Pitchler as well. Patrick Pitchler, who won the opening race meeting of the season at Indianapolis, was racing a McLaren that time. Now he's racing in the BMWs, and the BMWs have come on strong here. That even though it's a superly quick racing circuit here at Monza, he's already up to 12th position, which is good considering he's in amongst the fast cars, the likes of the McLarens and the Audis.
The field spread really hurting drivers here as well. There's already people sort of 20 seconds back, but from the leader, and of course they're themselves are tucked up right close behind the traffic. And here comes Sebastian Dunkel, maybe for a move for second place. We give Brunner just a couple of laps to see if he could close the gap. Didn't happen, so looking down into turn 1. Oh, and Brunner just late on the brakes, decides he's not going to be able to make it in, goes and uses the exit, dips through. Obviously he's going to rejoin, loses some time, will have to serve that slowdown penalty as well. Takes a while to get going. He looks like he's got it done, and he's going to fall back probably 1, maybe 2 more places.
Going to let one of the Audis through, and that is
back in.
That's Malkola. So loses 1, 2, 3, 4 positions there, Justin Brunner. So he was in second. Now he's down in what looks like 5th position. So Dunkel up into second. And a while ago, looked like Justin Brunner was trying to go for the lead. 1.4 seconds it was again at the end of the last lap. We'll see if Sebastian Dunkel was able to set the task towards Heredia. Almensberger now in 3rd position. Then it's Malkola. Then Brunner, who lost those positions at the start of lap 3. Then it's Mane and Cristian Manzano, who's still on the back of this pack. And then the next pack begins. It's Guisado and Opakak as well. So let's have a look at this lead pack then into the Ascari chicane. Very quick section here at this circuit. Very hard to get right as well. You've got those bumps on the those curbs on the inside, which can really unsettle the car if you use them too much.
Yeah, everybody seems to, car seems to be set up quite well, using all of the exit runoff curbs and no real issues or anything like that. Just looking at Manzano right now, tucked up behind the Vortex Racing, Audi ahead of him as well. If there's any sort of difference, I think, certainly for the Audi drivers, they just quite haven't got the straight line speed, so they'll be using the draft just to sort of maintain the gap more than anything. Yeah, it certainly doesn't close in. They just they're falling back just a little bit down the straight, but yeah, Manzano not able to close in either. So I think this pack's going to stay pretty much as it is for a little while. While they just try and sort themselves out, and dare say we're probably looking for a little bit of tyre wear to come into play before we start seeing people make moves.
Yeah, because we saw this at Indianapolis. The first stint of the race was really run line astern, but then once the pit stops began, we saw cars getting out of shape and a whole lot of battles unfolding as well. So do stay with us here on Apex Racing TV for the course of this race, because I assure you it'll be getting a lot more exciting as we progress. And down towards the first Lesmo then, Sebastian Dunkel. What was the gap at the line last time around? 1.3 seconds. So despite being in third the lap previous to that, Sebastian Dunkel is already closing the gap towards Heredia. And we'll see if he's able to get within the draft in a few laps' time. Everyone's still line astern, down the back straight towards the Ascari chicane. Almansberger, Melkela, Brunner, Mane, Manzano, and Oppercat just trying to stay with the McLaren. Alex, do you know really the speed difference between the McLaren MP4 and the Mercedes? Is it really that much of a deficit for the Mercedes?
I think we should go take a look. I can bring the information up on the screen, and we'll take a nose the next time they go down the main straight out of Parabolica, as we're approaching right now. I don't think it's going to be a great deal. Certainly one-on-one, that there is a difference, but it's not massive.
Here we go then, out of the Parabolica, across the line to start lap 5 of the race. Let's see what the speeds are like then, heading down towards the first chicane.
Yeah, right now it's just a couple of kilometres an hour. Certainly the McLaren is quicker, but yeah, we're talking maybe 1-2 kilometres an hour, nothing much in the draft, so fairly even.
Of course, the McLaren will have the superior straight line speed if it too has a slipstream. But yes, straight line speed are very much key in this race. We're already seeing that so far in the early stages. 1.2 the gap now between Dunkel and Heredia. So another few attempts getting taken out there. The race leader, 1:48.493 for Dunkel last time around, 1:48.603 for Heredia. So the gap is getting progressively smaller as the race progresses. Almansberger holding on to these lot. He lapped the quickest out of the top 3. 1:48.232, so he too could be a factor in the near future. Then Mikael Melkela 1:48.3, same for Justin Brunner and Mane as well. So the Audi's lapping very similar lap times, and of course once you get into the draft, Alex, it's really just about following the car in front, and then you can set consistent lap times and be right with them.
Yeah, if you feel like you've got the confidence in the car to lap as quick as the guy ahead, and like you say, you just tuck up in that slipstream and just let them pull you along. Right now for Allenberger, it just makes sense to close in on Dunkel and use him. He's doing all he needs to do at the moment. He's slowly reeling in the leader, and just be patient. It's 33 laps for this race. They're going to get there. Going to get inside that 1 second barrier, I think, in the next 2 or 3 laps, and then they can start to think about trying to make some moves.
1:48.5 for Heredia when they came across the line to start lap 6. Sebastian Dunkel 1:48.4. So the gap is now 1.091 seconds. The slipstream will definitely begin to be a factor between these two if the gap continues to go down at this rate. And once again, Almansberger, the quickest of the lead trio, 1:48.3 for him at the end of lap 5 going into lap 6. So these 3 drivers are definitely contesting it at the moment. We'll see when the pit stops begin who will be able to use their in-laps and out-laps effectively to try and get them up through the order. Patrick Pitchler was able to use that tremendously at Indianapolis. I think he was 3rd at the beginning of the pit stops and emerged from it in the lead and ended up taking the opening race victory of the season. So these positions are most likely to change during the pit stops as well. Melkela still not losing touch with those guys at the front. 1:48.3 for him as well. So if you look at from Heredia down to Menzano, 4 seconds covering them.
Sorry, Adam, we've got some side by side here. Yeah, Patrick Richer right now, side by side with the 33 car there. It's getting very, very close as they exit Lesmo 2. Oh, 4 cars just you could throw a sheet over them right now.
Whoa, that pink Audi trying to get involved in the action as well. BMW versus Audi, this is going to be interesting. And is there the grip out there for Benjic? And it isn't, and there isn't really. He has to slot in behind. Now the pink Audi of Sebastian Galdo is under pressure from the BMW of Mark McDonald. Those two are now going to go side by side down the straight towards the Parabolica on lap 6. The BMW on the outside, the Audi on the inside, then heading into the corner. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? It looks like it is the BMW, and it's going to swoop around the outside and should be able to hold on to that position. So the BMW getting past the Audi there on that straight and had the commitment on the brakes. And of course, Alex, the BMW seems to be good in the corners, not so good on the straights.
That's the thing. Certainly has the downforce a little bit lighter as well. So they're always a bit vulnerable in this sort of situation. But like I say, we should be able to outbrake and at least stay there as Audi has a look back. Sebastian, is alongside and just has a little tag, and unfortunately sends the rear around of Mark McDonald there, and no major damage as far as I can see. Let's hope there's not some sort of suspension tracking gone out there that sets him back, because yeah, he's just made that move, and hopefully they can carry on their battle. Looking just behind them, actually, driver having a great race is Patrick Wolf. We know that he didn't set a time. He's got a bit of damage on the front of that McLaren right now, but round the outside of the turn, the second chicane there, squeezes to try and get that move complete as well. I think he will get it done. He has indeed.
Oh, he goes a little bit wide, but he's able to hold on to it. Mark McDonald didn't look too best pleased with that incident as well, from what he's just put in the chat. But either way, he's now behind the Audi. Yeah, Patrick Wolf started in 34th position after not setting a time in qualifying, and is now up to what looks like 21st position. So already gained a ton of positions, and as Alex was saying, might have picked up just a little bit of damage on his car. Side by side in the background, 2 BMWs going at it, one significantly more damage than the other, Gregory Rabb and Andreas Lakem. And I think Lakem was battling at the front at Indianapolis as well. He was using a McLaren MP412C for that race as well, as converted to BMW for this one.
Adam, we've got to move our attention more towards the front, as Allensburg is coming under a little bit of pressure for 3rd place right now. He's got Miko taking a look up the inside. Will he get it done? They're side by side. Allensburg holds it there, and it's going to be just a straight on drag race. And actually the 2 cars behind as well, the teammates, the Vortex Racing teammates there, Justin Brunner and Alexander Mania there as well, also having a little battle.
So he said that the Audis were able to keep pace with the McLarens, and in fact Melkel has been able to get past Almensberger. Whoa, that is dangerous there. Going nearly rubbing door handles there at a few 100 miles an hour, and they're going to do the crisscross through the De La Roggia. The Audi's going to come out on top, is it? The McLaren's going to go down the inside into the Lesmos, and Almensberger is about to lose another position. And wow, look at around the outside there. One of the McLarens, is that Justin Brunner? I think it is. Brunner trying to go around the outside of Manet into the second Lesmo. He has to go through the gravel. There's not going to be the grip out there that you want, Alexander. And now he's going to be under pressure from the Audi of Manzano. Manzano now trying to forge a way through, and the McLaren of Riccardo Guisardo trying to look to the inside. Surely 3 into 1 won't go there if Guisardo tries to have a look down the inside, but now round the outside goes Manzano. He's now got past the McLaren of Justin Brunner. So Brunner, who was in second at one point, has now lost another position. So he's tumbling down the order here, really just a victim of these overtakes. So now let's have a look at the order. At the front is much closer between Heredia and Dunkel. Then it's Melkeler in 3rd, 4th Almensberger, 5th Manet, 6th Manzano, 7th now for Justin Brunner, 8th Guisardo, 9th Uppercack, and now he's about to go side by side with Florian Voith in the Audi as we come across the line. But what's happening at the front? Heredia, is he under any increasing pressure? Doesn't look like it. So we'll focus on this battle between Voith heading across the line, trying to get past the Mercedes. And in front of them, Almensberger coming back. So much action to look at here. Alex down in towards the Rettifilio on lap 9. Almensberger just holding off Manzano, and then Manet and Brunner going at it towards the Roggia.
Yeah, somehow they all managed to come out of that one. Okay. I'll tell you a driver who looks very, very strong here, and that's Sylvian in the Radicals Racing BMW there. Sat down in 11th place at the moment. Waiting patiently. That BMW we know is very, very good on its tyres, very good on its fuel, and if there's a way for him to use that and perhaps get ahead through the pit stop phase, something like that, we could see him being quite a force to contend with towards the latter part of this race. The issue he's got is right now he's sat here and he can't really move forward.
Down towards the Ascari then, Manzano versus Mane. The Audi looking to the inside of the other Audi, just pulls back in, and look in the background there. Look at this, we've got Guisardo versus Voith versus Opakak, it looks like, in the Mercedes. Round the outside goes the Mercedes. He's trying to get the position back, and the McLaren might be about to lose another position to the BMW, and does. So that's Sylvain Pomerazzi out of nowhere, just getting that position away from Guisardo, who was leading that second pack in the beginning. In fact, he's going pretty slowly, Alex, so I wonder if he's got a problem of some sort, but he's losing touch with these guys now.
Yeah, all of a sudden, just there was that couple of was that?
That's Manzano. It looks like, I think. Yeah, it is Manzano.
I saw someone all of a sudden drop in. Let's just take a quick look at that back, see what exactly happened there. Was there any contact?
Oh, it's contact. Yeah, contact with Alexander Mane going into the final corner, the Parabolica. Pretty straightforward contact as well.
Yeah, I'm afraid that was a 2 into 1 doesn't go. Just turned in. Car was on the inside. Was a little bit patient and waited for the other cars to go through at least, which is good. How often do we see people try and rejoin straight back onto circuit? But yeah, Christian not doing that.
That's a shame for Christian Manzano. He's come across the line in 14th position now after he was steadily climbing the order after starting in 8th. See if he's going to be able to stage a comeback throughout the rest of this race. Lap 10 then. Heredia leads Sebastian Dunkel by half a second. Melkela in third now for Audi. Fourth, Andreas Almensberger, who tries he might, has now lost the final spot on the podium. Alexander Mane in fifth. Sixth, Justin Brunner. Then seventh, it is Florian Voith, who's gained a ton of positions in the last lap or so. Then it's Dado Opakak, Sylvain Pomeraz, and then Ricardo Guisardo rounding out your top 10. See if this gap's able to get any shorter at the front then. Heredia 1:48.9. It's been the first lap in a while since he's been quicker than Sebastian Dunkel, who was lapping in the 1:49s last time around. Mikko Melkela 1:48.8, so quicker than both of the guys at the front. Andreas Almensberger 1:48.9, and then Alexander Mane in the Audi in 5th place. Let's see if there's any other battles going on. Opakak coming under pressure now from the BMW of Pomeraz. Pomeraz, who's coming on strong the last lap or so. He's really come out of nowhere, getting past Guisardo in the McLaren, and now he's trying to stick it to the Mercedes, heading through the Ascari chicane, and now down towards the Parabolica to complete lap 10.
Has a look into turn 1, it pulls out the slipstream, late on the brakes, has he overshot? Don't think he has. I think I already saw him there and just sort of gave it to him a little bit, and hoped perhaps that Dunkel made a mistake, but yeah, no such luck. Great move from Sebastian.
And of course I was looking at a replay as well, so that didn't help things. And Sebastian Dunkel, yes, taking the lead from Guillaume Heredia, then Mikko Melkela in third now. So see if Sebastian Dunkel was able to pull away from Heredia now that he's got that clear track in front of him, or we'll see if Heredia is able to respond, because of course he'll have the benefit of the slipstream this time. Dunkel last time around 1:48.9, and Heredia lapping 1/10 per second slower, and that was crucial in Dunkel getting the lead back. Look in the background though, Almensberger all over the back of Mikko Melkela. He's been very quick the last lap or so, has the McLaren. See if he's able to get a run out of the second Lesmo in towards the Variante Ascari, and then down towards the Parabolica to complete another lap. Let's see, we're 1/3 of the way through round 3 of the 2K GT World Cup at Monza, and look at that McLaren flashing its headlights. That's one of the new updates here on iRacing, and it adds another dynamic of realism there, Alex. The fact that the drivers can now flash their headlights and say, look at me in your mirrors because I'm definitely coming through.
Yeah, absolutely, unless of course the driver ahead of them doesn't have the headlights turned on, so it means nothing to them whatsoever.
That's one way of not getting phased.
Yeah, exactly that. I think that was the first thing that got turned off this morning. I was like, no, I'm not going to worry about that.
I wonder if Mika Melkela might have done the same as well. I don't think he would like to see that McLaren flashing its headlights in his mirrors for too much longer. Tell you what he has to do though is go on a defensive, because Almonsberger is going for it straight away down towards the Varian-Scauri. They touch! Dear me, and that's going to now be another Pure Racing Team McLaren. It's going to have to go across the chicane. Of course, he'll pick up a slowdown penalty for it, Almonsberger, or will he actually? He's taken the bike chicane.
Yeah, you don't pick up one from that particular line there. It sort of just lets you have at it, which is why he's just carried on straight away. So, yeah, not great sportsmanship there, I think. I mean, there was a little coming together, I know, but I still think unless you complete the move fairly, you shouldn't die for that line. I know there was contact, but you should at least fall back into where you were. But no, apparently not. What can I say?
If that slowdown penalty isn't showing on your screen, then I'm sure that Almonsberger's like, yep, that's fine, I'm on my way. Melkela then coming under pressure from his teammate Mane, who of course Melkela had to slow down a bit after that collision down at the first chicane. Let's see if Alexander Mane is able to get anything done heading into the Varian-Scauri. Looking down the inside, these two look like their teammates, of course, so they're not going to be trying to race each other too hard down into that corner. No way through there for Mane, and Melkela will try and set his sights on getting back past Almonsberger, who was in the podium, who started second on the grid. He's now up into third. Let's have a look at the guys at the front then. At Heredia, still with Sebastian Dunkel, about to start lap 13. Let's see if he's able to use the slipstream to his advantage and try and get the lead back. He didn't get the best run out of the Parabolica there. We'll see what their lap times are like as they come across the line. Onto lap 13, 1:48.48 for Sebastian Dunkel, 1:49.5 for Heredia. So unfortunately he's not using the slipstream just enough to try and get near Sebastian Dunkel. The two Audis going side by side again down the front straight. Melkela versus Mane. It is Melkela on the outside and Mane down the inside, and Mane is through, and that is him up into fourth place. So Mane, who was in the podium positions a little over a lap ago, down to fifth place now. Justin Brunner in sixth position, sort of on his own, and it's Florian Voigt leading this pack, this second pack really. It's Sylvain Pomerad and Dado Opakak in the Mercedes, Guisado and then Jonathan Brolt and Adam Sibalek in 12th place as well. So these guys all fighting for the positions outside the top 10.
Yeah, Sylvain with a little bit of damage on the front end of his BMW as well, so still doing a great job out there. It's fair to say in that BMW really needs the guys in front of them to try and close into the tail end of the pack ahead. So Justin Brunner and Miko ahead. That would certainly open up his race if they can do that.
Looking in the slipstream, but of course the BMW not as quick, but I'm sure the guys in that team have definitely got the BMW tuned up so it can have some straight line speed advantage as well. Let's have a look then. Out of Ascari chicane, running all over the curbs there nearly, and of course all that tarmac runoff area as well. He's in the tow. Going to look to the inside, is he? He hasn't pulled out of it yet, and in fact the Mercedes is closing in on them as well. No way through for the BMW. Wasn't looking down the inside just yet. Maybe he's planning on getting a move done out of the Parabolica and down into the Rettifilio to start another lap.
It always carries that much more speed through the middle of the corner, but yeah, just unfortunately can't do anything with it once the cars get wound up. So yeah, the frustration is very real, I think, for BMW drivers. Oh, what's going on there? Florian all of a sudden just slows right down. Did he just brake early?
Oh yeah, must look like it, because he got back into the position behind. Let's have a look at that actually. Yeah, I wonder if he was letting the BMW go, or maybe he just broke a bit earlier than expected.
Well, we've got a three-car battle at the front as Andreas Allenberger's caught back up now. So yeah, first, second and third covered by just 1.3 seconds right now.
Yeah, the leaders, the first and second cars, were lapping in the 1:49s last time around. So Almonsberger 1:48.7. So he's definitely lapping quicker than these guys. It won't be too long if he laps at that pace before he's with them. So Heredia and Dunkel had better watch out, because he could be there soon. And Harry just saying that, Mane's on the back of him now. So That probably might be in Almersberger's script. He wants to push forward and possibly get his second place back where he started on the grid. But now instead he's going to fight off not Melkula, who was battling with 2 laps to go. Now it's Alexander Mane down the straight towards the Parabolica. On lap 14, about to start lap 15, and in fact the Audi's got the run, it's got the inside line. Is it going to be a done deal here? Yes it is, down the inside he goes. We'll see if Almersberger is able to retaliate on the exit and possibly get the move into the Rettifilio to start the next lap. But now he's got to watch out because Mikko Melkula, hello, remember me? We had that bit of contact down at the Rettifilio just a few laps ago. I won that position back. And
must have been some sort of slowdown or something there, because he just suddenly dropped back from the leaders and now he's fighting his way back through again. So yeah, very strange. Goes in a little bit deep into the first hairpin, use that second sausage curb as it is just to aid the car in turn. It's great to see the way the drivers utilise all the resources there and just hooks his front wheels on the left hand side of that curb to help his McLaren turn a little bit there.
A car that always handles the curbs well. That's always a car that I always like to drive. An iRacing down the inside there, looking Mane. Almersberger later on the brakes as well. Desperate to hold on to that position there. And is now into what is 3rd position. So Almersberger back into the position he was a lap ago. Already, I think just running with Sebastian Dunkel. I think just keeping it all in reserve. And just to say, that gets a little bit of a wobble out of the second Lesmo. And then back to that battle for the final spot on the podium. 2 great battles for the lead. This is what we like to see in the 2K GT World Cup. Round 3 of the championship. Mane looking to the inside again. No way through. Into Varianti Ascari. Very easy to gain and lose time here. You need to get the line absolutely perfect, especially in qualifying towards the Parabolica. It just looks like as though Almersberger may not be as superior in the second half of the lap, because this is definitely where the Audis tend to close in.
Some battles going on a little bit further back as well, so we haven't been able to cover all of those, just getting little glimpses here, there and everywhere. But the pack actually has separated out quite dramatically, certainly from sort of 12th place backwards. Everybody a couple of seconds apart now.
Yeah, down to after 14th place Christian Manzano, we've got about 8 seconds, then it's Marcel Tai. So quite a bit, yeah, dramatic drop in order then in the top 20, separated by 36 seconds. Lap 16 then of the 2K GT World Cup here at Autodromo Nazionale Monza. And Sebastian Dunkel continues to lead. Heredia 2nd, Almersberger 3rd, Mane 4th, and Melkula in 5th. Tell you what, these Audis are definitely looking a bit quicker than the McLaren all of a sudden, and Almersberger is definitely having to switch his focus to these guys. Has to put 2 wheels into the gravel there on the exit. The De La Roja shouldn't slow him down too much. Problem for Patrick Wolff. We were commenting on his fight through the field. Looks like he's had a technical problem, and I think he is out of the race, unfortunately. So after starting 34th, was getting up inside the top 20. It's a shame for him, but it looks like he is out of the race. Oh, whoa! Justin Brunner on the exit of the second Lesmo, Alex. I don't know if we caught that on camera, but he was entering into the second Lesmo there and puts 2 wheels in the gravel and nearly loses the car and into that Armco barrier on the inside.
Yeah, we saw just a glimpse of it in the background and then switched focus. It has lost him a bit of time. Sylvian not close enough to pick up the draft yet off of Justin, but a lot closer than he has been, so I think he's desperate to try and get the draft, because he's been having this battle with Florian for quite a few laps now, and he gets ahead, and then unfortunately the quicker cars of the Audi behind him just uses the draft and just zips back past him going into turn 1.
The Florian Voigt back past, has not got past Sylvain.
Pit stop.
Pit stop's underway then, and Coroni's into the pits, and he was running in 31st position. So interesting to see whether he had a problem of some sort, or he's rolling some form of strategy. But yeah, that Mercedes is into the pits.
Ricciardo also in as well. He was just at the tail end of this little group that we were watching. So first of your sort of like top 15 drivers in.
Wonder if anyone else will start to blink. We're of lap 16 laps now on lap 17 of a 33 lap race, so just past the halfway mark so we could expect to see pit stops soon. Don't expect all the drivers to be on the same lap, of course. We saw the strategy being rolled at Indianapolis in the opening round of the championship, and the person that stayed out the longest, which was Patrick Pitchler, ended up taking the victory in that one. So we'll see if any undercuts, the undercut can be done, or staying out and putting in those quick lap times could be the way forward in this race.
I'm going to switch the attention back to the front too, and I feel like jumping on board with Heredia just to see if he is perhaps having a bit of a coast or something like that behind our leader right now, because seems to be holding pretty firm at about 0.4 of a second back. Now, is he just using the draft to do that, as he has a little slide going into the parabolica there, just took a little bit too much speed, and I think that is our leader. Oh no, he has a little feint to the pits there, tries to fool him just for a second, and yeah, already just back into the draft. Let's see, going into the braking zone, does he have a little lift coast? Probably not going to this time, as he made that mistake into parabolica, but yeah, a little bit, but it just looks as if he's just not pushing it too greatly there. Runs a little bit wide and exit turn 1.
Lap times for those two last time round, they were lapping very similar times, 0.02 of a second between them. Sebastian Dogle 1:49.046 compared to Heredia 1:49.066. Manet in 3rd position, Melkela in 4th, so Almensberger down to 5th now, and then Justin Brunner in 6th. And look at this, Dado Uppercat now under pressure from Sylvain Pomeraz, and Pomeraz has lost a position to that Mercedes, so the Mercedes has gained 2 positions in the last lap or so. That's quite amazing, really, and now Pomeraz having to defend from the Audi behind of Florian Voith, and of course that Mercedes in front of him.
Yeah, same situation where Sylvain just, makes some moves, and but can't, just can't hold on to it unless he's got somebody ahead of him that he can draft. You just can't hold on to the positions.
No one yet at the lead pack yet to make their first stop or so. We'll see what the leaders do this time, as Dunkel goes very wide on the exit of the Ascari chicane. Might have to worry a little bit from an attack behind of Heredia, but I'm sure Heredia is pacing himself as well, because he will be in as well in a lap or a few laps time. We've seen strategy rolls quite far in the first race of the season. Some guys pitting with just a few laps to go. Any of these guys pitting? In fact, our second place man is into the pits. Guillaume Heredia in the McLaren MP412C. Second place man into the pits. Then anyone else is in. Justin Brunner, who had that moment on the exit of the second Lesmo, he's also in. So the 2 McLarens into the pits here on lap 18, start of lap 19.
Yeah, and very close again with this battle for what is now 5th, 6th and 7th, as that is Florian round the outside of the of Kak into turn 1. Little mistake there from him as well, has opened the door for the BMW just behind, but it's a drag race and we know who's going to win that one.
Most definitely. Let's see if the BMW can cause a surprise. No, it doesn't. In fact, they're closing in the Mercedes though. There's a great run on the Audi heading into the Della Roggia. No way through though. So unfortunately, straight line speed bites once again for Sylvain Pomerad, and he's lost a position to the Mercedes and the Audi, and he was in front of both of those guys a lap or so ago. I think, Alex, really, if you're a BMW leading a pack of cars around that are faster than you, I think it's almost inevitable, really, that you're going to lose those positions.
Sadly, I don't think there's any real way to defend. Like I say, now that he's in the draft, it's not too bad. He can sort of stay with it, and he's got Patrick Pitchler behind him, of course. Both drivers in the BMW, so fairly even as far as what straight line speed's going to be like out there. So, but yeah, I think they were, they've got to a position where it's clear that these 2 drivers around them aren't going to close the gap to the leaders, so that they just need to try and see if they can get away and start to break away. They only need a lap or 2 where the drivers start to fight behind them, and they could do it. So but it's all going to come down to the pit stops from them. They need to have a really quick stop, maybe stay out as long as they can.
Race leader in, Sebastian Dunkel.
Uppercat in as well.
Uppercat in, Melkela in as well. Almensberger.
Yeah.
A lot of them in. Sylvain Pomerad actually goes round. Almensberger in, Opakak in. So is Patrick Pitchler, the race the round 1 winner. Christian Manzano in, who had that contact down at the Parabolica. Marcel Tai in as well. So let's have a look at the cars that have stayed out. Sylvain Pomerade stayed out, so has Florian Voith. Alexander Manet has stayed out.
Heredia coming round as well. How is Dunkel doing? Is he away yet? He is away. They're very similar times, 18.4 and 18.9. So I think he's going to hold on to that. It's a very quick stop for Miko, right up the tail pipe there of Dunkel as they come out. He might even get into second place here. Just dumps out right in front of Heredia. Heredia has to brake extremely hard there. You can see the car squealing under brakes, just to try to avoid that Audi there. And yeah, it was aggressive, but you know, when you nail your pit stop, these are the things you need to do.
And strategy plays its part once again in the 2K GT World Cup. Mikko Melkala taking second place, effectively away from Guillaume Heredia, and I don't think the McLaren driver will be happy with that one bit, and he needs to set himself on trying to get that second place back. He started on the pole, of course, and is now on the last spot on the podium if the race were to finish now. Alexander Manet then continues to lead for Audi during this round of pit stops. He'll be into the pits in the next few laps. Is he coming in this time around? He is, and he'll be in. Second place at the moment, Florian Voith. He's still yet to make a pit stop, as is the BMW of Sylvain Pomerade. Those two going to be in this time around. The Audi looks like it is going in, and so does the BMW. Hard on the brakes, those two don't want to make sure that they don't want to run into each other. Hard on the brakes on the pit lane limiter. And we'll see what the Audi can do then of Manet, because he was running close to Melkala before he made his pit stop. Of course, it has to put one lap less amount of fuel in.
Yeah, 17.4 seconds was his stop, so anything less than that for Manuel there is going to be a good stop, and it's way longer. He's still sat there right now. It's over 25 seconds now. Not a good stop at all.
Well, good for Alexander Manet, still in the pit box.
Oh, that's got to be some sort of penalty. 32 seconds. Shocking. And I tell you what, I think Sylvian's had the same sort of problems as well. 25.2 seconds for him. So yeah, drivers there having issues in the pit stop, sets them way back. So not the greatest there. Tried to eke out their strategy a little bit and just backfired on them.
Alexander Manet just coming out ahead of Christian Manzano heading into the Rettifilio. I wonder if those two were the ones that had contact earlier. I don't know whether it was.
Could have been actually. They were certainly in and around, and so yeah, Manzano will want to try and get some places back here.
If you enter the pit lane too quickly, Alex, do you have to serve a penalty in your pit box
away.
there?
Yeah,
could that be one thing?
Yeah, exactly that. So could well have been that.
When the cars all come round to complete their next lap, we'll run you through the revised order. Sebastian Dunkel, though, as we can see, is leading. Second place, Mikko Melkala. Melkala, who started 5th on the grid, currently now running second place, and it looks like he's setting his sights on taking the race victory here. And he's got just over 12 laps to do so. So it's going to be pretty nervy for Sebastian Dunkel in a moment. He's been used to seeing that McLaren in the mirrors of Heredia. Now he's got to deal with a different threat, and that is the Audi of Mikko Melkala. We'll see what the lap times are when they get to the line next time around. Of course, this will be their first lap on since they've made their pit stop, of course. We'll see what the Audi is like when it's in a battle for the race lead. Over the line they go, over the timing line. Let's see what the times are like. Look at them, right up against the wall there. 1:49.6 for Sebastian Dunkel, 1:49.5 for the Audi, and the Audi's in the tow. It's got the inside line, and Dunkel's moved over to the outside, but fortunately he's later on the brakes and is able to get in front of the Audi, but the Audi already showing its hand on lap 22.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in for a bit of a treat this last 11 laps. Let's hope that it goes on for the whole race long. These three, well, they pulled away a little bit from Andreas Almensberger behind, but I still think that he's certainly got the potential to close that gap up. Certainly if they have just a lap, I would think, where they start having a heavy battle, he'll be right back on them.
Really feel what the top 10 look like now then. Dunkel leads, Melkler in second, then it's Heredia in third, Almundsberger in fourth, fifth Justin Brunner after starting third on the grid, sixth is now Alexander Mane, who was the best of the rest, really, the guys off the podium. He's now down in sixth position, fighting with Manzano. Then it's Patrick Pitchler in eighth, the round one winner, and rounding out the top 10 it's Dana Wapakak and Guisardo. Pomerad then dropping down to 11th place in the BMW. Really a scary chicane then. Dunkel, Melkler, Heredia. See what their lap times are like when they get back to the line. We'll be about to start lap 23 of the race. Just over 10 laps to go. This race has suddenly come alive here. Let's see what the Audi can do fighting against the McLaren. We'll see what their top speeds are like as well, of course. The McLaren leading and the Audi in that slipstream, of course. And don't count out Heredia, who could benefit from these two having any sort of contact, which we've seen tonight with other cars down into the Rettifilo.
Yeah, once again, Dunkel goes very, very defensive, just not leaving any opportunity for Miko to get to the inside. Moves across. Miko tries to stay there, late on the brakes. That's very impressive. Gets the car stopped for the apex as well. What a great move that is.
To the lead then, Mikko Melkler started fifth on the grid. Now is leading the race as we enter the closing stages. Now it's all about Sebastian Dunkel. He took the lead away from Heredia before. Let's see if he can take the lead back away from Mikko Melkler. And he's setting his sights to it straight away. Down towards the Della Roggia, closing right up behind the Audi R8 under braking. And he just needs to try and unsettle him. And then he has the opportunity to take the lead back. Let's see if there's any other battles going on inside the top 10. Manzano still hasn't been able to get past Alexander Mane. And Dado Opakak has got the other Mercedes now joining in. Michael Yoda, who started... Michael Yoda is a lap down. I did think he did start a bit further back. Then it's Ricardo Guisardo in 10th. Sylvain Pomeraz 11th. So yeah, this battle for the lead is definitely the one we need to watch at the moment.
Still think Heredia's just playing a patient game out there. Certainly got pace. He hasn't lost touch of the lead at all. He was, of course, chased down by Dunkel earlier on, but still think he's got something in the tank to be able to pull a move off. I think he'll, if he thinks for a second that Dunkel's going to lose ground on Miko, I think we'll see him make a move.
I'll start lap 24 then. Mikko Melkler leads in this race. And in fact, I think this might be his first race meeting of the championship. No, of course, he raced at Okayama, 25th in the point standings. Only picked up 38 there. And then Sebastian Dunkel in second. Here he comes to the outside. Is he going to be later on the brakes? The Audi is so late on the brakes there. Mikko Melkler doing a fantastic job. And Sebastian Dunkel's just looking this way and that, trying to find a clear piece of track that hasn't got Audi written all over it. And now Heredia fancies an opportunity to try and take second away from him. Heredia, of course, who started on the pole position, is now currently sitting third and lost a position to the Audi during the pit stops, of course. Now he's coming in. They're all closing in on the Audi. The Audi doesn't get a good run there, and the McLaren, of course, has the benefit of the slipstream. The Audi having to take a defensive line into the Della Roggia. And Dunkel is able to hold on to his second place. Now he's under pressure from Heredia, and look who's coming in the background, Andreas Almundsberger.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the result last week 2 weeks ago for Miko is only half the story. He was right there all the way to the end of the race, and unfortunately just got his pit stop wrong and needed to take some extra fuel. So, you know, he's shown he had the pace in that last race, and he's showing it once again here today.
Sebastian Dunkel currently sits 6th in the points in the McLaren. Didn't run at Indianapolis, got 73 points though on the board at Okayama. And on the other hand, for Guillaume Heredia, picked up a 0 at Okayama. I wonder if that was a result of contact or something. But yeah, has only picked up points from Indianapolis so far this season. Currently sitting in 5th position in the championship. And with the likes of Beneke, Pitchler not racing, and Almundsberger behind these guys, if they stay in these positions, this will definitely give them some points on the board that will definitely get them closer to the lead. Out of the Parabolica then, onto lap 25 of the race. Let's see what the lap times are like, because they seem to have stretched their legs a bit this time around. 150.149 for Mikko Melkler. Guillaume Heredia does a 150.407 and Dunkel 150.415. So the quickest out of those guys was Mikko Melkler at the front. But now we're coming to try and get past one of the back markers, and it's Caroni in that pretty nice green McLaren, green Mercedes, the JCL sponsorship. And this is definitely where the McLaren closes in. So the run through Curva Grande down towards the Della Roggia, it all of a sudden picks up a ton of speed, and the Audi has to go on the defensive. Once again they do that, having to go all over the curves, putting two wheels into the gravel. Almensberger's getting very close now. What was his lap time last time around? 1:49.4. It was exactly the same to the thousandth of a second. It was actually a second quicker than Heredia. 1:50.407 for Heredia compared to the 1:49.407 for Almensberger. So a second quicker that lap. But now let's see what Mikko Melkkola is going to do when he's faced with traffic.
Yeah, Heredia starting to think about wanting to make moves, flashing his lights as well out there now, so it's go time for him too. He can see Andreas closing in. He knows he needs to get a move on now. He can't sit tight and wait. He's going to be under pressure in just a few laps time. It's yeah, this race is well and truly on right now.
Thought for a second the Mercedes was going to get out of the way, but no, it's not. We've got four cars going for it then. On to lap 26 when they come out of the Parabolica and across the timing line. Blue flags will be waving furiously at Caroni. And the Audi's going to use that as a bit of slipstream just to help him in terms of straight line speed as they come across the line then. McLaren trying to desperately pick up a toe off the back of the Audi, and does. Look at this, 270 kilometers per hour, 273 or so, hard on the brakes, and the McLaren had to get out of the throttle there with the Audi weaving about a bit on the straight. Closest in under braking. Now we're going to see what the run's like out of the Rettifilo down towards the Della Roggia. Heredia in third position, just put two wheels into the gravel. Almensberger continues to close in. 1:49.5 for him, 1:49.6 for Heredia, 1:49.6 as well for Dunkel, 1:49.8 for Melkkola. 0.2 of a second slower that time around, probably because of the lap traffic. Sebastian Dunkel not able to do much this time out of the Rettifilo down towards the Della Roggia. So Melkkola still leads, but Almensberger might fancy an opportunity now, because he has definitely got within them, within the top three, and we'll see what he can do with the benefit of the slipstream. No more lap traffic at the moment. The nearest car is Jose Buella, and he has just come out of the Variante Ascari, so we won't be having too much problems with traffic for the rest of the race.
There's a few little battles going on, Pichler and Mazzano as well, further back. Again, Pichler just suffering like all the other BMW drivers out there. And yeah, man's trying to get past Mania as well. Great little battle, defensive driving going into the Ascari. Chicane there. Oh, it's going to compromise him on the exit somewhat. Let's just see if he can get a run. Doesn't look good.
Audi's going at it. The BMW surely won't be able to use the slipstream too much to his advantage. Manzano's going for it. Cuts back to the racing line, and just behind the back of Alexander Mane, who's suffered greatly.
Oh God, look at this at the front. Sorry Adam, we're going back and forward, but they're just weaving down the straights, just trying to break slipstream the best they can. And they all has some mistake there for our leader as well. Just runs in extremely deep, manages to get the car back over. It's going to be under a lot of pressure going into the second chicane here.
We saw how quick the McLaren is through the Curva Grande, and Sebastian Dunkel knows it and wants to use it to his advantage. Mikko Melkkola on the inside then. That's not the racing line. Whoa! Sebastian Dunkel moving to the inside. Is he going to get it done down the inside into the Roggia? No, he's not. The Audi's later on the brakes once again and is able to just hold on. But yeah, Mikko Melkkola did not get a good run there out of the Rettifilo, and that was Sebastian Dunkel's best opportunity to get a move done into the Della Roggia. But it's as you were. It is Mikko Melkkola leading, Sebastian Dunkel second, Heredia in third, and then Andreas Almensberger in fourth place. And Almensberger once again was the only car in the top four to lap inside the 1:49, so he's got the pace, but he just needs to do something with it.
Yeah, I think certainly this is the lap for him to settle his position down. He knows he's right there. He's tucked up now, just 0.6 of a second behind Heredia. Needs to get close to be able to make a move.
Out of Ascari, when we get to line, we'll be starting lap 28. So definitely getting into the closing stages then of this very entertaining third race of the season in the 2K GT World Cup. Heredia closing in under braking on Sebastian Dunkel. So Dunkel actually on this time around is having to worry about the other McLaren behind instead of trying to focus on the Audi up front. We'll see if he's able to close in though on Mikko Malkola as we come across the line. Look at them again, weaving all about. We said at the beginning of the broadcast about how important the slipstream will be. Heredia flashing the lights just a little bit under braking going into the first chicane. Almensberger closing in, almost running into the back of Heredia. Let's have a look at the lap times. 150.9 for Almensberger, 150.5, 150.5 for Dunkel as well, and 150.5 as well for Mikko Malkola. That's how close the lap times are at the moment. Sebastian Dunkel trying again for the Curva Grande. Mikko Malkola covering the inside line, and that won't be the racing line though. So, and cuts back across. Very brave there, and he's got his headlights on, so he definitely means business, does Mikko Malkola.
Yeah, seems to be struggling consistently through that first chicane now, and that's twice that Dunkel's had a run. He needs to sort of try and line something up there. Maybe expect something of the same again. Perhaps just tyres are starting to scream a little bit. Certainly lap times have fallen off, so it's very easy for drivers to make mistakes. Really, pile the pressure on now. This is where it really starts to hurt.
Yes, of course, because we've made the pit stops. I'm sure most of the drivers did not change tyres during the mandatory pit stop in this race. So the tyres will definitely be starting to become an issue in these closing stages. We'll be starting lap 29 when we get to the end of this lap. And that's just over 5 laps left of racing here at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. Audi lead through Mikko Malkola. Then it's McLaren second, third and fourth. Fifth, it is Justin Runner and another McLaren. Sixth, Alexander Mane, Audi. Seventh, Manzano, Audi. Eighth, Patrick Pitchler, BMW. Then it's Dado Opakak, the first of the Mercedes in ninth, and then Sylvain Pomeraz in 10th in the second of the BMWs. Across the line we go then. The leaders, what's happening there? Just a little bit of a look to the inside for Dunkel. Same for Almensberger on Heredia. Let's see what the runs are like on the exit of the Rettifilo. Once again, the McLaren gets a better run, I think. On the Audi, Mikko Malkola will probably defend the inside line going into the Roger like he does. Runs around the outside there, and wow, Sebastian Dunkel's got it done. So we had a fantastic run.
Down for our leader there. Just needed to serve that quickly. And it looks like he's going to lose in second place here as well. Nothing he can do. So easy to get just a little bit too far over on that first chicane, and it bites you hard. He's had 2 laps in a row that just, he made mistakes. He just went in too deep, just missed the corner completely. It cost him, put him under a lot of pressure. He's overcorrected this lap. Braked just a little bit early, caught too much of the inside curve, gets himself a slowdown penalty. You can get them done pretty easily and only cost yourself about half a second, but with this battle as close as it was, half a second is 2 places.
How gutting for Mikko Malkola, leading the race. Seems to have it in hand for the time being, but just that slowdown that he picked up, now it means that he's down to third position and under pressure from Andreas Almensberger, who started second on the grid. But it was a great job for Malkola. 5th position on the grid, was running in first place as we saw just after getting past Sebastian Dunkel. But now it's McLaren 1 and 2, and Heredia, who started on the pole position for the start of the race, will fancy taking it back and taking the race win. None of the drivers in the top 4 have won a race, I don't think, this season. Of course, the winner in the opening race of the season was Patrick Pitchler. He's running further down the order, and then the other driver to win in the second race of the season was Maximilian Benecke, and he too is not racing.
Almensberger, late on the brakes. He's good. He's got it done.
Is he?
Side by side, a little bit of contact. 2 through 2 in 1 doesn't really go there. That pure racing team. McLaren has a little bit of damage on the side now, but he's away. Straight drag race. We know once again who's going to win that one.
That battle, of course, has separated them from the likes of Heredia and Dunkel, so it'll be a 2-car battle for the lead unless Almensberger is able to get really on it in the next few laps, and don't put it past him. Almensberger has been very quick. 150.3 for him last time around. Wasn't the best time, of course, but he was battling away with Mikko Malkola, who's now dropped down to 4th place. Heredia 149.8, 149.7 for Sebastian Dunkel. These guys are really on it. We'll see what their lap times have been like.
Mistake there from Heredia. got himself all out of shape coming out of the second Lesmo there. Manages to collect it up. He's 9/10 of a second back, so still well within the draft, but he's going to have to settle down. The car might be a little bit iffy through Ascari now, and he overshoots that as well, so feeling a little bit of pressure from behind too. He's got a lot of fans at the moment watching this, cheering him on, and yeah, right now they're going to need, well, he's going to need their willpower just to get back up there. He looks like he's going to come under attack here from Allensberger. Oh, around the outside of the Parabolica, that is not easy to do. Completely different lines. He's going to great exit speed off of there, though. Oh, this is going to be tight going into turn one. Dunkel is loving this. This is exactly what he wants to see in his rearview mirror right now.
Says cheerio, you two. I'm off to take a victory here, and I'll leave you two battling over the scraps. Across the line we go then. First lap 31, 3 laps to go. Down the inside goes Almensberg on Heredia. He's later on the brakes. He does just make the corner, but he's going to have a terrible exit, and this will give Heredia the opportunity, but he goes and puts all the car in the gravel, but he's still got a reasonable run. Let's see what he can do with the added bonus of the slipstream through Curva Grande down towards the Della Roggia. Almensberger will of course position his car in the right position to try and stop Heredia getting it past, and he does. So Almensberger up into second position where he started the race, of course. It's been a pretty tough race for the Pure Racing team driver. He's been up and down inside the top 5. Now he's back into second place. Meanwhile, Sebastian Dunkel is just over a second or so ahead. Heredia, let's see if he can retaliate and take that second place away. This is probably going to be the key battle now for the rest of the race, as it looks like Sebastian Dunkel could be on his way to taking his first win of the season.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to rule that as a guaranteed at the moment. So we've seen the pace that Allensberger's had, and I think, you know, a good couple of corners here, get himself back into that slipstream. 1.4 seconds is the gap on my live timing screen right now. He's going to need a good Parabolica, use the next lap to close in, and then anything could happen.
Heredia, of course, not giving up either. Justin Brunner also closing in on Mikko Melkala. I wonder if tyre wear has definitely been a problem for that Audi throughout this race, as we're definitely seeing the McLarens rise to the top in these final few laps. About to start the penultimate lap of the race then. Across the timing line we go. Lap 32 of 33. 1:49.7 for Dunkel. 1:49.7 for Almensberger. 1:50.3 for Guillaume Heredia. So nearly identical lap times for Almensberger and Dunkel. We'll see what Almensberger is able to do this lap, since he is not battling, is not going side by side this time with Heredia. Starting to pull just a little bit of an advantage on Heredia. In the background there, we've got Mikko Melkala and Justin Brunner battling over a position there. That's over 4th and 5th. A bit too far away for them to get anything done, but of course this battle out front is the one we'll be focusing on for the final lap and a half. Running through the top 10 quickly. Dunkel leads, Almensberger second, Heredia third, Mikko Melkala fourth, Justin Brunner in 5th, Christian Manzano in 6th in the Audi, 7th Alexander Mane. After that, Scupper pit stop, 8th for Patrick Pichler, 9th Dado Opakak. Rounding out your top 10 for you, it is Jonathan Brolt, Florian Voigt in 11th, and in the background, battle continues. Brunner right in the slipstream of Mikko Melkala. Audi versus McLaren, heading down towards the Ascari chicane. I think the Audi might be about to concede defeat here, is he? Down the inside goes Brunner. And that is 4th place.
You're right, it does just look like Mikko's just tyres are just gone or something there, because those last few laps he's just been able to do nothing. Lap time's just way off. Almensberger well within the 1 second barrier now, so picking up a lot of draft. We're about to head on to the last lap. We might see something perhaps going into Parabolica by the time he gets up to him. He's going to use this main straight to close in another couple of tenths, get a good chicane down into turn 2 as well. It's going to be tight. Anything could happen.
1:49.2 for Almensberger, and in terms of laps, that was not his quickest of the race, but it was darn near close, especially with tyres at their worst, really, in this final stage of the race. Look how much he's closed in.
That's a good turn 1 as well. It's 0.4 of a second, so might even have an opportunity here to get the move done. 0.3 live timing. Green, let's bring that up as well. 0.2. Is he going to sit tight? I think Dunkel feels the need to go a little bit defensive. Just covers the line off. It's going to compromise his exit somewhat. Oh, a little bit out of shape as well.
Down towards the first of the Lesmos. Almensberger has a cheeky look to the inside just to try and put a little bit of doubt into Sebastian Dunkel's mind. Here we go up to the second Lesmo, and Heredia wants to join in this action as well. Heredia, of course, sat on the pole for this race. Out of the second Lesmo, going all at it, both of them putting two wheels into the gravel, heading down towards the Ascari chicane on the last lap. What's going to happen? Have a look in the slipstream, all three of them. Heredia has a little bit of a look to the inside of Almensberger, goes back to the racing line, into Ascari. It's all about the run through here and the run down towards Parabolica. And I tell you what, Almensberger's got a fantastic run here on the back of Sebastian Dunkel, up over the curbs, and Sebastian Dunkel runs out just a little bit wide, down towards the Parabolica, the final corner in this fantastic race here. It's a battle between the three McLarens. Dunkel on the inside, Almensberger around the outside. I tell you what, it'll be a fantastic move if he can get it done around the outside, and we might have a run to the line here. Here comes Heredia down the inside, and Sebastian Dunkel trying to force out Almensberger. Almensberger getting all over the place on the exit, but I think it's, oh my word, who's going to win the race? 3 wide across the line, and round 3 goes to Andreas Almensberger. He takes the win in round 3 of the championship by 35 thousandths of a second, ahead of Guillaume Heredia. Heredia got second in the end, with Sebastian Dunkel finishing in third, 1.5 tenths behind our race winner Almensberger. Wow, Alex.
I think Sebastian ran out of fuel, did he? Literally coming across the line. Oh, just gutting for him. I mean, I think he had it done. He had it covered in the middle there, defending the inside and the outside there. I think he had it all sorted, but in the end, phew, that was close. Let's take a little replay back of that. Sorry for everybody else who comes blowing across the start-finish line. That was too close. We need to see that one again from a slightly different angle if we can.
Yeah, Sebastian Dunkel just confirms it, out of fuel. Oh, no, there's a little bit of contact between the two of them going to the line.
Oh, that was close. Crazy close.
Heredia almost took the win there from a third on the grid. Or third, going out of the final corner. But yeah, what a fantastic race that was then. Cars just coming across the line. Let's have a look who's coming across the line. Banchik has come across the line. Shemeki just coming across the line. He'll be finishing in 21st. 22nd for Jose Ramon Buela. He comes across the line. And then Rafael Drazquez is coming across the line now. He'll be the last car on the lead lap. Well, Alex, that race really had it all, really. We had a battle at the front before the pit stops, and the pit stops played their part in setting up a fantastic finish. Mikko Malkola leading the race after the second round of pit stops. Then his tyre wear kicked in, and then we had that battle at the lead right to the very end. Yeah,
what a great race actually all round. So different battles going on all over the place, and that finish there was great as well. Oh, just Heredia so nearly got that as well. That was crazy. But yeah, you got to feel for Dunkel. I think he probably thought that he'd saved enough going to the line, just a half a second more in the pits, and he'd have won that race. Just goes to show small margins that these guys have to deal with.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have heard it in the car, that small little cough just on the run to the line, and then those guys just swooping past him in the end. Well, let's run you through the finishing order then from round 3 of the 2K GT World Cup. Andreas Almensberger takes the win, his first of the season. Second for Guillaume Heredia, 35 thousandths behind Sebastian Dunkel in the end in third. Fourth, Justin Brunner. Fifth, Mikko Malkola. Sixth for Christian Manzano, finishing ahead of Alexander Mane in the end. Patrick Pitchler in 8th. Dado Opakak in 9th. And Jonathan Brolt rounding out the top 10. Florian Voith finished in 11th. 12th for Patrick Richter. 13th for Marcel Tai. 14th for Ricardo Guisardo, who was running up inside the top 10 at the beginning of the race. And then, who started in 7th, in fact. Then 15th for Andreas Lakem. 16th for Mark McDonald. Those two started outside the top 20, as did Gregory Rabb in 17th. 18th for Adam Schaumsey. 19th for Marcus Papenbrook. And then rounding out the top 20, Darius Shemeki. 21st for Jose Ramon Buella, 22nd for Rafael Druzkaz, and then the cars that were 1 lap down or more. We had Banchik, Michael Yoda, Craig Parks, Jaco Boshoff, Caroni, that green Mercedes that was getting lapped by the leaders during the race. Then Sebastian Gauder, 2 laps down as well. 3 laps down, Cedric Bolin. Sylvain Pomerad, 30th in the end. 5 laps down. Don't know what happened to him because he was running just outside the top 10 for the majority of the race. Wonder what happened there in the final few laps for him. Adam Sivalek in 31st. Patrick Wolf had a connection problem and finished in 32nd. And then 29 laps down in the end was Andreas Bernberger. Well, next on the next round in the 2K GT World Cup, we're heading to Brands Hatch. And another famous racetrack, Alex, but I don't think the slipstream will be as much of a benefit there as it was here.
No, not at all. Very much a racer's track. Guys are going to have to set the car up as well to, maximum downforce, I think, and need to carry as much speed as they possibly can through the corner. Certainly, to me, that's going to stand out as a BMW circuit as well. So we'll see how that pans out, but should be a great race nonetheless.
Be good to see the BMWs on form, not having to race with a disadvantage, of course, with the slipstream and the straight line speed being such a dominating factor here as well. Of course, we will be taking a week break as the 2K GT World Cup runs every other weekend. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. My thanks to Alex, as always, iRacing World Championship driver, joining me in the commentary box for this race. We'll see you at Brands Hatch in 2 weeks' time, and thank you for watching the 2K GT World Cup here on Apex Racing TV. Good night.